worlds collide, it's a curious thing. Bet you never heard a robot and a caveman sing.
This is the first time since 2020 that WWE produced a Worlds Collide event for NXT and NXT UK. Only this time, the reason is they had to end NXT UK due to its rebranding. That's why nearly every match here was rushed in the build-up. Also, this is extremely awkward when you think about it. WWE was literally in the United Kingdom hosting Clash at the Castle yesterday, yet the wrestlers from NXT UK are actually in the United States for Worlds Collide. Couldn't we have just had the show also take place in Cardiff in a much smaller venue, obviously?
That changed the game.
Get it? Because Triple H turned NXT into something epic? 2 pay-per-views in a row where we're getting some terrible puns.
NXT is the hardest thing.
This is honestly a sad image. It shows the successes of Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Street Profits, and Charlotte Flair from when they were in NXT. And in their future, Street Profits are Raw Tag Champs, Charlotte poses in an epic WrestleMania entrance, Kevin Owens main events WrestleMania with freaking Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Sami Zayn fights Johnny Knoxville when he got embarrassed and humiliated by the Jackass crew. Seriously? Blair Davenport looking like the odd one out since she's the only wrestler in the NXT Women's Title Unification match that doesn't hold a championship. Wow, we're in an era where even the WWE Performance Center has non-pyro for wrestlers' entrances. Nice little attention to detail on the part of Carmelo Hayes, as he has a virtual shirt for every wrestler he defeats in his North American title reigns, with one pre-made for Ricochet in case he loses as well. That sounds like a fun deal. You lose to me, but you get a free shirt. Why isn't Carmelo Hayes unifying his North American title with the NXT UK Heritage Cup Championship? I know that title goes by British Rounds rules, but I'm sure they could have made it work here too. I read the rules and seen the matches. Looks pretty simple to me. Both Carmelo Hayes and Ricochet have countered each other so many times, I'm very tempted to throw in the Spin Me Right Round song. It's getting pretty dizzy here.
My money can blow.
Performing many flips and counters apparently requires you to pose like a superhero falling from the clouds when you stop.
This is a pretty heavy emotional night.
Technically it's the day, as this event began at 4 o'clock p.m. local time, and yeah, you get what I mean and all.
It has been a global weekend.
Carmelo Hayes clearly got out of Ricochet's side headlock, but ends up putting himself back in it. Oops.
Who are these people on there?
Ricochet slides out of the ring and gets distracted by Trick Williams almost on purpose. He's just asking to lose to Carmelo at this point, isn't he? And people say Roman Reigns can't win without help. Ricochet literally has fans in the audience help him in his attempt to defeat Carmelo Hayes. Ricochet is easily the most distracted wrestler I've ever seen. Even when Trick Williams isn't doing anything, there's Ricochet yelling at him for long periods of time.
Ricochet now. Wait a minute. Carmelo. Whoa!
Holy shit! Perhaps finding sins for this match won't be as easy as I think. Nah, I'm just kidding, I'll find them. But in the meantime, Carmelo Hayes and Ricochet deserve praise for these amazing and perfect timings of their moves. God, I'm definitely getting black and gold era vibes off of this match for the NXT North American Championship. Anyone else feeling that too when they watch this? Ceiling cam. Weird for me to bring it up at this time, but why is it that we got blue ropes for NXT today, yet SmackDown continues to have the white ropes? And honestly, shouldn't these ropes be multicolored to fit the stage of NXT 2.0?
Has to offer. Oh!
Apparently, a devastating kick to the air was enough to not only knock over Carmelo Hayes, but also send him flipping into the air. That was weird.
Recoil!
Carmelo Hayes had to reposition himself just to get his leg close enough to the rope, and if he's conscious enough to reposition his body, then we just ruined the impact of Ricochet's recoil maneuver.
American champion!
Given that Carmelo wasn't even unconscious, I'm actually surprised he needed Trick Williams to help him survive this match.
Ricochet certainly saw it.
Ricochet continued to waste more time taking his eye off the ball. I get that he wants to make sure Trick doesn't interfere again, but couldn't you have kicked him and then turned back toward Carmelo instead of continuing to yell at Trick?
Went for his earlier.
No selling is always a sin. Ricochet uses that move to win quite a number of matches, and somehow Carmelo Hayes is unaffected by all of it. This scene of Ricochet and Carmelo wanted to be the one who ascends to the top rope goes on for quite some time. What made this match awesome is the quick and out-of-nowhere victory by Carmelo Hayes. I know a lot of people wanted a finisher to be the result of this match, but it was so fast and furious throughout that a sudden inside cradle was the perfect way to conclude it. Well done to these two for putting on a classic. Previously on NXT. This sign is simple yet effective. I will admit I laughed when it cut from pretty deadly to the pretty ugly sign of the audience. With the slow motion and the looks, I'd say that John Morrison apparently had a couple kids with Tyler Breeze, and this was the result. Yikes.
The longest reigning NXT UK Tag Team Champions.
Keep in mind that Gallus only had that extremely long NXT UK Tag Team title reign due to the COVID-19 pandemic, where NXT UK did not perform literally at all, so it's not as impressive as one would claim it is. Sorry.
Opportunity, he's all.
Pre-match assault. While I know there are 3 unification matches tonight, putting the NXT and NXT UK tag titles in a split comparison graphic doesn't look as good since they're way different in design. I'm just saying it worked for the WWE and Universal titles since they were exactly the same design. Also, the very stupid rule of having only 2 wrestlers allowed in the ring while 2 entire teams have to stand on the apron. In a fatal 4-way match, there should always be 1 member of each team legal at once. It's only fair. Good lord. Lash Legend and Fallon Henley figured that this match was getting boring and started attacking each other. But the problem is, I wasn't bored of this match. It was just starting and it was going good too. I'm actually bored of this random brawl for once.
What the hell's Mark Coffey thinking?
Well, let's see. Almost everyone else leaped out of the ring in some form of high-flying maneuver, so I'm just going to assume that Mark Coffey is going to do the same thing. I could be wrong, though.
The first elimination.
Damn, it took less than 4 minutes for the NXT UK Tag Team Champions to be eliminated from the match. If it was that easy to defeat them, then how the hell did they manage to become champions in the first place? Pretty Deadly see that Gallus has their backs turned, and instead of taking advantage of the distraction, they choose to hug each other, which in turn allows Gallus to take advantage of them. This stare down and argument between Pretty Deadly and Gallus doesn't even last 15 seconds, but feels like 15 minutes because of how much the momentum slowed down.
Bedlam security need.
You have no idea how frustrating it is to watch Elton Prince turn to his back and not even attempt to tag in Kit Wilson. It's like he's going, I'm almost there, shit, I'm too tired, gonna take a nap. Brutus Creed is not even in his corner. That's the Pretty Deadly corner. Does this mean someone could tag in on a corner that's occupied by an entire team?
And now Brutus, smash!
Vic Joseph and his cringe attempt at making a Hulk reference. I'm already seeing enough cringe from watching the She-Hulk series on Disney+.
Could effectively be a handicap match right now.
How? Julius Creed is on the apron in his corner, while Elton Prince is in his own corner. It looks like a standard tag team match to me. Where's the handicap in this scenario, Wade?
Looking more and more.
I'd honestly be interested in Gallus returning to the arena to continue brawling if we didn't just see that happen over 5 minutes ago after they got eliminated from the match. Just saying. I gotta take off 3 sins for the amazing way Julius Creed was able to keep Elton Prince in the air for a standing suplex while on his knees and then perfectly standing up while maintaining the position. That is absolutely insane strength.
The moment!
The referee slid out of the ring to count the pin when he could have just counted it in the ring right beside the ropes. There's a lot of open space, but he wanted to look cool counting on the outside. The referee gets knocked over at the crucial point of the match, cliche, and it kinda looked like Gallus intentionally did that too.
Coming down.
First, Julius removed his straps, then removed his gloves. If he yells at Elton any longer, he may end up stripping completely naked next. Yikes. Won't lie, Damon Kemp suddenly turning on the Creed brothers and costing them everything caught me by surprise. That will get us removed from the counter because I love a good betrayal storyline when done out of nowhere.
So they can see what happened.
If Julius Creed can easily kick around with his legs, then he should be more than able to kick out of the pin, and yet somehow he isn't. Also, cool as the betrayal was, Damon Kemp was the one who caused this win for Pretty Deadly, so victory due to outside interference is always a sin. About 6 to 7 minutes worth of commercials. I guess WWE realized how short this pay-per-view event was and wanted to make it to at least the 2-hour mark.
There's always a bigger fish.
Qui-Gon Jinn approves of this line.
Granny, you talking to me?
Well, yeah, aside from you 3, there's literally no one else in the room, so who do you think Tony D'Angelo was talking to?
Some respect on that name.
Mandy Rose is apparently late to the show, having arrived just as her match is about to begin. I wonder what the panic was like with everyone wondering where the NXT Women's Champion was. Also, I get that we put in the lower-end music used for cage matches while wrestlers are making their entrance, but it doesn't look as badass when one of the wrestlers is on the road driving.
For 430 days.
WWE officially recognizes Meiko Satomura's title reign as beginning on June 10, 2021, which is actually 451 days ago, and according to records, the actual tape date is unknown. Vic Joseph is 3 weeks behind if that's the case. Also, I don't mean to sound disrespectful, and if I do, I apologize. But you gotta admit it doesn't make sense for someone from Japan to be dominating as a women's champion of the United Kingdom if NXT UK is specifically stationed for wrestlers of that area. Again, if that sounds disrespectful, not my intention. It's next to impossible to see Blair Davenport as she makes her entrance. I looked up and actually believed that Matt Riddle was making a cameo appearance. Too much blurred vision. No offense, but that doesn't make Mandy Rose look any better if we can't even get a clear focus on her.
Blair Davenport is also.
Whoever the fuck that screaming fan is.
Start showing Mandy Rose some respect.
Don't worry, I'll start showing Mandy Rose some respect as soon as you put your erection for her away, Wade. Capiche? Also, couldn't this match have also been contested under elimination rules just like the tag team unification match was? It just seems more fair to do it that way after the chaos of the previous match.
Davenport now up over shoulder.
Roll up after roll up after roll up. I won't lie, that was somewhat entertaining to see with all three women being in the perfect position for each counter.
Now Davenport.
Blair slams Mako to the ground and figures that was the perfect time to taunt Mandy from outside the ring, instead of, going after Mandy. She does want to be the one to unify the two titles she isn't holding, right?
But an advantage has got to be tight.
Ha! Giggity! I'd be more excited to see Blair Davenport have a stare down with Mako Satomura if we haven't been in progress the last 10 minutes. Just saying.
Nice transition, able to roll through shoulder.
This pin should not be counted at all because of two reasons. Blair's hand is literally shown underneath Mako's shoulder, and the other thing being Mako's shoulder is way off the mat. She's practically laying on her side, yet is being counted. Did the rules change? I don't even know what to make of this. Mako Satomura sees Mandy Rose posing and taunting Blair Davenport and chooses to mimic her? Is this Simon Says WWE edition?
One of those titles will dissolve tonight.
Wait, you mean to tell me that if Mako wins this match, the NXT USA version of the Women's Championship will deactivate in favor of the UK version? Because I don't think that's how it works, given NXT UK has taken a break for its expansion. That was a great sequence of Mandy connecting the superplex on Blair, which put Blair in perfect position for Mako to hit a frog splash on the other side of the ring.
From behind, look at Satomura. Oh!
The last few moments of this match had intense moments indeed. It may not have been the best match of the night, but these three women put on a good show.
Rose makes history.
To the jackasses who put on social media that Mandy Rose slept her way to the top, those idiots are obvious misogynists, be jealous. Even if you don't like her, you gotta admit she made history and has been an amazing NXT Women's Champion. Otherwise, she wouldn't have lasted this long. Since we're going all around unifying championships, I'm actually surprised that we don't have Katana Chance and Kaden Carter facing Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah to unify the two sets of women's tag team titles here. It'd be nice to go back to the WWE Women's Tag Team titles being able to be defended at NXT again. Also, Nikki ASH and Doudrop have had matches, lost them, had arguments, threatened to break up, and never do. Like, are they gonna split up or what? Also, just by the fact that Nikki and Doudrop are part of the main roster, they're obviously not winning this match. And that kind of takes away the interest of this match.
Johnson Carter.
Not a good start here. Kaden Carter was already falling back before Nikki ASH could connect with her shoulder tackle.
First woman to challenge for all active women's championship.
While that is true, it doesn't sound that impressive given Nikki has won 2 of those active titles. Now, if she had a chance to be the first wrestler to win all active women's titles, that is a more incredible accomplishment.
Have user quickness, which is going to be on.
Doudrop tried to punch Katana Chance, who was so far away from her. Even if Katana didn't roll through into the ring, Doudrop never would have connected the punch.
Katana Chance, perhaps the...
It's apparently that easy to take down Doudrop when she's watching you the entire time. That was kind of hard to watch.
is here at NXT.
Gotta give Doudrop credit because hitting a splash on 2 women at once without messing it up is a very difficult thing to do. Once again, she knows how to look brutal but protecting her opponents from legitimate injuries at the same time.
We're all high-fiving, partying, and up and...
Well, that was terrible. Great show as this was, the match we're watching here was by far the weakest. Why is it always the tag team women's matches that don't perform as well? They really gotta work on that issue.
Completely in the
I'm gonna throw in a double sin because Kaden Carter hardly grazed Nikki ASH's left foot, and that somehow made Nikki's right foot buckle and fall over. I was gonna assume Kaden got the idea of that kick from Orange Cassidy, but even Orange's kicks would do better than that. Wait a minute, I thought Toxic Attraction moved up to the main roster after they were confirmed for the women's tag team title tournament. And also, wasn't Gigi Dolan injured? I guess the injury wasn't so severe after all, since she was only out for a week and a half.
Didn't win! And right...
Well, that was an awkward return to NXT. Toxic Attraction is back, and they're taken out before they get a chance to do anything. Oh well, maybe next time.
Cover! Jane, hold on, wait!
While I get that JC Jane was hanging on to Nikki ASH's leg, nothing was stopping Nikki from pulling at Doudrop's arm, which would have broken up the pinfall. My god, this was embarrassing.
Do you have any remorse for raking the eye of Apollo Crews?
You're seriously asking the bad guy if he has remorse for hurting a good guy? Reread that sentence and realize that was a stupid question to ask.
Let's make history! Worlds collide!
I gotta give points for the production team on this awesome video package showcasing the heritage of both championships as Braun Breaker and Tyler Bate go into this championship unification match, added into the emotion and the excitement. Although I gotta admit that 2022 has been a crazy year. Might as well call it the year of unifications, considering there has literally been 6 unification matches in WWE this year. 2020 was the year of the double champs, and 2022 is the year of the unifications. What's gonna be 2023, the year of the newly introduced championships? Tyler Bates' entrance was awesome, as he basically walks through a hallway showing all the NXT UK Championship wins, and showing that NXT UK comes full circle with Tyler at the start and Tyler at the end. Not gonna lie, that gave me chills.
All powerhouses, but make no mistake, guys.
I know that this double shoulder tackle was done so that both wrestlers could do a kip up at the same time and look cool, but I find it hard to believe that Tyler Bates somehow knocked over the big Braun Breaker, who was running full speed ahead. Braun clearly has the power game over this, so if Tyler was fallen, Braun shouldn't be logically fallen, unless he fell by himself on purpose, which is also dumb.
Unique style of offense that Braun has never seen before.
Sure, let's just pretend that Braun Breaker has never watched Tyler Bate compete in the ring and doesn't know what he's up against. That's totally how this works.
Right inside.
This was obviously done so Tyler could continue his onslaught of counters, but the timing was awkward. Braun grabs Tyler's leg and just stays in position for a few seconds without so much as trying to trip Tyler over to the ground.
Danger to a man, but right now he is in.
I don't know what's more amazing, the fact that Braun Breaker hit a picture-perfect Hurricane Rana, or the fact that he was able to flip through it and bounce back to his feet in the same second. Either way, that deserves 3 more sins taken off the counter.
Here's where that speed comes in and the power.
Braun continues to show that he's more than ready to take on the threats over on Raw and SmackDown. Really hope he's called up sooner rather than later, because holy shit.
Comes with it in both these men.
Smart move on the part of Tyler Bate. After Braun hit his Hurricane Rana the first time, Tyler was ready to counter with that powerbomb the second time. It was a rough start, but I love it when the match makes up for its errors.
Is Bate gonna tap out? Is Bate gonna quit?
Well, since Vic Joseph is constantly asking if Tyler Bate is going to tap out, I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say no, he's not going to tap out.
Tyler Bate.
The referee called for the rope break without even noticing that Tyler's foot was on the rope. Hire this referee for the main roster because he's clearly got psychic abilities and could definitely be a referee who doesn't fuck up his job like everyone else does.
For the boy! And boom! Oh my god, boom!
I gotta agree with Vic Joseph and his voice crack! The way Braun Breaker defeated Tyler Bate to unify the championships was unbelievable. Shades of Goldberg in his WCW days. I fucking love this event. Thank you NXT UK for the fun memories, and I cannot wait to see NXT Europe.